If you have ADHD, you probably have social anxiety too. Here's 5 ways to fix that. Hi, my name is John, and 8 years ago I was diagnosed with ADHD. I am here to help you. So let's go. Many ADHD people struggle with social anxiety. When they talk in conversations, they sometimes talk too much. Sometimes they interrupt a little too often. Sometimes they forget the topic of the conversation, or sometimes they get distracted by other conversations going on around them. And over time, this can cause them to become very anxious about socializing with other people. Sometimes ADHD people are called too hyper or too distracted, which can make them feel judged. And oftentimes, an ADHD person just thinks too much. They think a lot about all the mistakes that they've made when they've socialized, all the weird interactions that they've had, and all the social missteps they've made in the past. This all leads to social anxiety. Difficulties with relationships, difficulties doing normal things like going to the grocery store or going on a date, or more importantly, things like job interviews. If they have difficulty talking to people, if they have difficulty socializing, if they've got social anxiety, they have a hard time doing these things. Everyday normal things that normal people use to get through their lives. And this is a problem. Socialization and social skills are very important. So, how can we fix this? Here's 5 ways. First, focus on quality and not quantity. You don't need a lot of friends to be happy. Instead of having a lot of friends, focus on a handful of really good people that you really like and focus on building deeper connections with them. Number 2, don't worry about making small mistakes. Whenever you head into a social interaction, whenever you're going to have that interview or that date or that talk with someone, don't worry about making small mistakes. Small mistakes are very common, very normal, and most of the time, people are worried about themselves more so than anyone else. So if you make mistakes, they're likely not going to pay attention to that. Number 3, practice. If you're going to engage in a social interaction, if you're going to go on that date, if you're going to have that conversation, if you're going to have that interview, rehearse your actions in your mind. Rehearse what you're going to talk about, rehearse your greetings, rehearse the topics, and think about what you're going to do ahead of time. That way you feel more prepared and more confident when you do have to socialize. Number 4, have an exit plan. What this means is this. If you are going to a social event, if you are going to meet with friends, if you are going to hang out with some people, and you know that you might have some anxiety in those situations, plan a way to leave that situation. Tell yourself and tell your friends or tell whoever you're hanging out with that my plan is to leave at 9 o'clock for this and this reason. Knowing that you have an exit plan, knowing that you have a time to leave can help reduce a lot of stress in the future. So, for example, if you're in the event, you're experiencing anxiety, you can look at the clock and say, okay, I've only got an hour to go. Let's keep myself busy. Let's try and take a break here and then talk to this person for the next half hour and talk to this other person for half an hour, and then I can leave. That way, your stress and your anxiety seems a lot more manageable. The 5th and final point is that if your anxiety is really, really bad, and if you're having a hard time managing it, try medication. Medication like guanfacine is great for anxiety. Ativan is also really good for panic attacks and when you're experiencing really, really, really uncomfortable anxiety. Socializing is a very important part of the human experience, and socializing is a very important skill. So being able to manage social anxiety and to help yourself through social situations is very important. If you have social anxiety and ADHD, I hope these points can help you.